All right, guys. Happy Monday.
More importantly, happy 2-year anniversary.
Happy 2-year anniversary, guys. I mean, we did it. So the story goes, after ComplexCon, 1 year, we were sitting in the office talking about ComplexCon, talking about the numbers we heard, all that stuff. We said, you know what? We have that little podcast set up for a short story long. Why don't we start a podcast about this?
So I don't even think it's The Office. I think I remember watching a Sunday night football game at Dee's place.
Yep.
And you guys started talking about like, hey, we should do a podcast.
That's probably what it was. Yeah.
I remember being there and I was like, oh, and then you guys started it.
And then I think ComplexCon is what pushed us to do it because it was an interesting topic.
Yeah.
Because I think that was the second year of ComplexCon. We end up doing the pod, and it was funny because we were joking. It was the two of us sitting like news anchors.
Yeah, it looks so stupid. You know what I mean?
Like a shitty Charlie Rose.
Gosh. And we, even our vibe was like...
So serious.
Stupid.
It was just serious.
It was just like, all right, so first up...
Yeah.
Hi, it's me, Barbara Walters. And then we realized when we started sitting in the podcast chairs and just recording audio, we were so much more like relaxed and had fun. Yeah. And then... we reverse engineered it.
Yeah, you got to pretend like the camera's not there.
Yeah, yeah. Well, now we're just used to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're starting.
So I have a question for you guys.
Yep.
When did you join? May?
Me? I was August.
Oh, I thought it was May.
August.
Or maybe July. Maybe July. Probably July.
So technically you don't get any of this cake.
No, I'm not allowed to slice.
It's a year and a half anniversary for you.
And for those who obviously can't see, but you'll see it on our Instagram tomorrow, the cake is a jewel.
Yeah. Incredible.
Incredible.
I mean, that's an amazing cake. Who did that? Gian did that?
Yeah.
Gosh, that's a good cake.
It's a jewel cake. So I'm going to ask you guys each a question. From doing the podcast, what have you learned?
What have I learned from doing the podcast?
Yeah, I was thinking about it just now, and I'll share with you what I've learned.
Yeah, okay.
So you guys have time to think about it.
Thank you. Because you got to come in. You prepped this
you
on
came
the way
in hot.
here.
Well, I wanted to do something for the 2 years.
Yeah.
So I think the biggest thing I took away from doing the podcast was, and this is the serious part of my answer. The serious part of the answer is I always felt that most people are fucking stupid. Okay. Outside of people I know.
Yeah, you do.
Right? I always felt that.
That is your belief system.
Yeah, I just felt like only people I know are smart, everyone else is a moron.
Yeah. And you feel like most people you hang out with are morons.
Yeah, most of my friends are morons.
Got it. Sorry, keep going.
Group chats incled?
Group chats included.
Oh, for sure.
Yes,
he's definitely on another group chat where he's like, these guys are fucking morons.
Idiots.
I have to go record with these idiots.
And the biggest thing, because I run into people that listen to the podcast all the time, and the Run Club and all these different things, I've expanded my belief that there are actually a lot of smart people out there.
Yeah.
And the real challenge is that people are stuck in different circumstances that don't allow them to realize their full potential.
Yeah.
And I think with the internet and just opportunities are changing, and that will hopefully change over time. But when I go to like all these cities and we meet all these interesting people running, I'm like, damn, these people are smart.
Yeah.
And I don't.
Yeah. It's funny, I can't relate because I feel like most people are smarter than me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
well,
to me, it's no
dummy.
surprise.
That's different.
Like, I just feel like, I don't know, there's a lot of people way smarter than me. I don't know.
I have a low opinion of most people, and the podcast has broadened my...
Yeah, and just to add to that, I think we just have the courage to express our opinion.
Yeah.
And other people have educated opinions on things.
Yep.
And we fortunately have a platform to be able to express it.
Yep.
And to Dee's point, like, people aren't stupid.
No, people are not. I mean, there are plenty of dummies, but...
There's plenty of dummies, but
not
like,
the people that listen.
Yeah, but like, I just feel like we're able to start a conversation. And I can see from my DMs as a nano influencer, sub 5,000 followers, the DMs I get, I'm just like, wow, people actually want to understand and like talk about the topics we have conversations about.
Yeah.
And it's really cool.
It's very thoughtful stuff. I don't know. I'm pretty blown away by it.
Yeah, I agree with both of you. I think that, like, for me, it's just if you have any sort of unique, if you and your friends or you alone or whatever it is have any sort of angle start putting it out there and just, you'll be surprised the people you connect with, because it's easier than ever to connect with people, and you'll be shocked at how, I mean, there's a lot of our very smart friends that listen to the pod all the time and reach out to us about all the topics and all that stuff that I never would have expected them to even give a shit.
And I think to your point is that I think it's a function of today's media is that everyone is so afraid to share their opinion on anything.
Yep.
Like people are afraid to like express anything publicly. The fact that so many people don't post on social media or private or whatever, and I think that sucks because there's a lot of great opinions and a lot of great interesting thoughts happening. I've had so many interesting conversations that should be heard, but like they're just like, I don't, want to lose my job or anything. Because
plus you got to be able to deal with like being called names.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like I think we're just pretty tough-skinned.
Yeah,
because I do know there's a lot of people that will write like an opinion tweet or something like that, and people say you're stupid and that's dumb and whatever, and they're like, okay, why even deal with this?
Yeah, that's true.
For us, we just don't care.
That's true.
Right?
It's exciting. 2 years.
Good.
2 years is no joke.
2 years is a lot.
2
A
years
lot of
is no
content.
joke.
That's a lot of content.
Okay.
I remember missing
It's a lot of
podcasts,
content.
'cause the birth of my child. I remember that. So definitely before then.
Should we talk about Rudy?
Yes.
So we're joined.
Hi guys.
Hey guys. So
I've been good. I've been quiet this whole time.
So it's only right that for our 2-year anniversary, we have Rudy, who is the producer of not only countless hit records, but most importantly,
His biggest thing to date.
his biggest work to date, other than the Grammys and all those things, is the soundtracks for all of our podcasts.
All of them.
Every pod
That I did for free, by the way.
Yes, you do. We owe you.
That karma has paid off.
Yeah, so let's talk about it.
Yeah, that karma. People don't believe in karma. Let me tell you, it pays off.
So on all of our podcasts, you'll hear the Go Rudy Go tag, and that's our boy Rudy here. So Rudy is a very accomplished producer and songwriter, but luckily we asked him if he would. First, we asked him to do the group chat one, I think, and he did it. And then I was like, hey man, is there any way, like I hit him on like a side text.
Yes.
Anyway, you could do the short story long one too,
Yeah.
and then killed that one.
Yeah.
Did he do the detour?
Wait, because it's Good Morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Oh yeah, Good
It's in the
Morning.
song.
Okay,
Yeah.
so there you go.
I'm in
You guys
here.
have a hit record together.
It's very apropos that I'm here because it's like 2-year anniversary. Like I feel I'm like the fourth Migo.
Yeah, you are.
I'm the sonic harmonic representation. You know what I mean? I get so many people hitting me up like, "Oh, you're Go Rudy Go." I'm like, I've done other shit too, but you know what I mean? Like, that's cool. You know what I mean? It's better to be known for something than nothing.
Yeah. There you go.
So those that don't know, the backstory is Rudy went to Granada Hills High School with us.
Shouts.
Shout out to the Highlanders, yes.
Shouts.
Unfortunately,
The Scots.
dudes that wear
Yeah.
kilts was our mascot.
I was in marching
Nice.
band, so I was in the kilts.
Oh,
so,
wow, you were?
I'm
Okay.
here.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know you
I
were in the
didn't know you were in the
band.
marching band.
Yeah.
Dork.
Yeah, for sure.
I was in
Pharrell-
marching band. I was in
Pharrell was in the marching
too.
band. Timberland was in the marching band. Jermaine Dupri was in the heard of him?
No, dorks.
Ever heard of him?
Those names sound familiar.
Yeah. What do they do? Timberland. It's the boots, right? The boots.
We go back.
So the reason why I hit up Rudy because I saw something on his Instagram that was super interesting. He said that he has a band named One America that we worked with on 5-4, and he was kind of on a hiatus with the band. He was producing music, doing all these other things, and all of a sudden he posts on his Instagram saying, "Oh shit, my song blew up on TikTok," and we've been talking about TikTok incessantly recently.
Yeah.
A lot of it, honestly, we think is fake and bullshit.
No, say the truth.
I said it.
You
I
said
said
a lot
it's
of it.
fake and bullshit.
You're shitting on it.
I'm shitting on it.
A
The
little,
Department of
He's been-
Justice has TikTok under national security review right
Yeah,
now.
that means it's working. Yeah. So D's just been shitting on it. I've been saying it's the future, and it's something
Because you
to
think
really-
it's like, what, fake news? Or?
Well, because here's the thing is because it's owned by a Chinese company,
Sure.
I just don't believe all the views and everything are real. I think they're manipulating them to help their business because they have no laws there when it comes to their own companies.
Yeah.
And so my view was like, sure, like this guy posted a video, got hundreds of thousands of views.
Yep.
Taylor's girlfriend, who's not an influencer, posted a video, got 60,000 views. And I was like, this is horseshit.
But what you don't see is that is the unique opportunity. And so it's the same way when vloggers were coming up, when Instagram was coming up, all the people that said, this is bullshit, let's worry about network TV, you're that guy.
Okay, I'm that guy. And fast forward, Rudy posts American Muscle, his song One America blows up.
Yeah.
And I hit him up. I'm like, I need to hear the whole story. I don't even know the whole story yet because I wanted to hear it live. What happened?
So I would say I think the difference between TikTok and the other social media platforms is that like TikTok is generated by the users, right? So what happened with American Muscle is this random person decided to upload a video of them driving their Ford Bronco down the highway.
When was this?
This was like 3 months ago.
Okay.
So
Sounds
there's
MAGA.
It's super MAGA. Yo, shouts to One America. If you guys
sure
are
a lot of,
MAGA,
like, even though reading
holler
them
at
are,
us.
I'm sure a lot of One America people are
No, it's
borderline.
super like our biggest fan base is the South, the Midwest.
Yep.
But there's an opening line for the song. It's like on my 5% tint on my windows, right? So that's like the deepest tint you could get on your windows.
Yeah.
So this Ford Bronco just had blacked out tint, and the TikTok starts with, "Hey yo, hey, I got the 5% tint on my window," and that's it, right?
That's it.
And that shit just took off. There's thousands of videos now of people driving down the highway with their dark tint on their windows.
That's it.
So
And
overnight,
who's this person?
I don't even know.
So
Here's the thing. The magic thing about that is, so we were signed to Capitol Records. We left Capitol Records. So our record wasn't even serviced to TikTok. So this person who did the first video, the original Sin video, uploaded it to his TikTok account and named it 5% tint. It's not even One America.
You know what's crazy? I was looking for it and I couldn't find it.
It's not. It's because it's not service to it. So it's true organic, like growth. It's true organic, like it's a thing. So then in the comments, everyone's like, "What is this song? How do I search for this song?" And then everyone's like, "This is this band called One America. The song is called American Muscle." And overnight, there's like 4,000 videos now using this song called 5% Tint. But the thing is, in the comments of all these videos, it says, "This is the band, this is the song." So our
In Chinese.
No, in Chinese.
So you should move to Beijing.
No, it's all American shit. So then our Spotify overnight, like around August, I just saw this spike in my Spotify. It was like 10,000 streams overnight. And I'm like, that's fine. Like, that's cool, right? Something happened. And then the next day it was like 12,000 streams the next day. And then the third day it's like 15,000 streams. I'm like, damn, like these are like a lot of streams racking up. Until this day, we're at like 825,000 streams in a 2-month span.
And that is the part that's completely undeniable because
I believe that.
when activity on, and I understand how the reading the what?
No, I'm trying to look at you in a straight face.
I want to see what you say.
Reading the numbers on the app, I see how you could be like, oh, that could be manipulated. Those numbers could be boosted. When it affects numbers on another platform, it's undeniable. And that's what we saw with ours is when all of those numbers came in and when everyone started tagging Young and Reckless and doing all this stuff, our Instagram numbers went through the roof because there's an icon on all your profiles what takes you straight to your Instagram. They do a really good job at syncing that.
Yeah.
And then web traffic went up. It all correlated, right? So that's the reason why there's not a doubt in my mind that it's fake or something like that because you see it happen outside of the platform.
That's fair. And question to you as a producer and a content creator, like you clearly have a moment now.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the next move?
Yeah. So there's a million record labels that now want to be part of it. And
Meaning they hit you up.
yeah, immediately.
That's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. So the thing that why TikTok is so important is because we weren't the ones that created that content. We had nothing to do. It's true organic scale, right? Like there's just thousands of people now deciding that this song means something to them based on this moment.
Yeah.
And now labels can track that. That's actually valuable data for them because they're like, wow, there's $0 putting in, this isn't a sponsored post like you could do on Instagram, right? You could sponsor a post and you're like, this is important to us, support. We had nothing to do with it. So labels now are like, wow, like they're going to hit 1 million streams on a 2-year-old song, right? With nothing going on. So like people like this song, like this means something.
How much money are you going to make?
A lot.
A lot, right?
Yeah.
Millions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because of this.
Yeah.
Because this fucking kid, you need to track this kid down.
Yeah. I mean, we'll buy him a beer. They can come out to the show.
on.
You know, you guys need
I
to
mean,
do
calm
is-
down. Like, it's our song.
I know, but like you, for all intents and purposes, you weren't going to do anything with it.
I mean, sure. I mean, but that's the thing about IP now, because like songs, because of the streaming generation, is just evergreen content, right? Because there's just a moment where like someone can stumble on a song 4 years ago, and now they don't have to dig out the damn dusty CD in their garage. They just pull up their Spotify and they stream it. You know, and it's that. So if you own those masters, like I did, like when I left my label, I fought for owning my masters. So I always felt that this music could be new again. Not enough people heard it. And when I feel like when they hear it, it's going to mean something to them. And if we could like latch on to like a moment, then who knows what could happen.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm just so glad that after all of this time debating, we have a living example.
That's why I called him
of
in.
how TikTok can generate millions of dollars for a
So the
person
Chinese are working.
instantly. Instantly, it's working. It's
You
not
should do a
Chinese.
Chinese remix. Chinese muscle.
This is the unique thing. You guys are really smart and you get all this stuff, but you haven't spent enough time on it to understand it. So all you see are these crazy numbers, and you're like, fake, which
Yeah.
I get it. China, fake. I understand that.
I believe the music impact of it. I honestly believe
No.
that.
I believe they're serving certain content to make views heavy. I agree with that, but that's algorithmically driven.
Yes, but you were right when you started the TikTok conversation
Yeah,
by
you
saying
were saying that.
it's an incredible feat of engineering. And then he got you off to start saying fake views, bots, bullshit,
So I
China.
was
Honestly, it was
originally.
Taylor's girlfriend that threw me off.
I was right originally.
Yes.
No, and mind
right.
you, we still to this day don't have a One America account.
Yeah.
So like
I went searching for
Yeah.
it. I didn't see the song, and I was like, "Man, Rudy's full of shit."
Yeah.
he was just hyping up this fake song.
I'm
and
just
didn't even
happy
have it.
Drama said I'm right.
You were right. And then you left your instincts and went to the dark side. And I'm disappointed because your instincts were right. But it's like, there's literally, it's the same reason why, if you really track it back, the reason why Logan Paul, Amanda Cerny, all of these people are massive, making tens of millions of dollars, is because of unique windows in social media as social media was. Like, a new Logan Paul could not be started today. It just can't happen.
a
On
different
TikTok,
platform,
it
yeah.
is happening.
Yeah.
And there are new people, there are songs that are exploding, there are like Crocs are really big on TikTok. Chick-fil-A is really big on TikTok. I don't know why. I don't know if maybe they're paying
Crocs
for
and
it.
Chick-fil-A. So there's a lot of white people on TikTok.
Oh, there's a lot of, 100%. But, there's a trend that's, Post Malone has a song that says, $1,000 Crocs, Richard Mille my watch.
Yeah.
These kids don't even know what Richard Mille is,
Yeah.
but so the trend is to show your Crocs off and bedazzle them and say you have $1,000
What did you do with the
Crocs.
Richard Mille part?
They like draw a Richard Mille watch on paper and like
No way.
They draw a $100,000 watch on their
Yeah. But so I'm sure Crocs is seeing some weird boost. Chick-fil-A is really popular. These things are really popular, and stars are being created where there could be the next Logan Paul or Amanda Cerny type character that makes tens of millions of dollars because there was a rare opportunity in TikTok. After years and years and years of there's no opportunity to really grow. We've talked about that forever. We've tried really hard to gain big audiences through those things. It's nearly impossible.
Yeah.
I think TikTok is a unique experience.
Okay.
And I think that it's also, when you look at pages like the Washington Post and stuff like that, it's getting older. It's still cheesy stuff, but it's older
No.
people are trying to figure out how to
I've
do
read
it.
countless articles the past couple of weeks of how old, like parents went to go see why their children are on TikTok and then got addicted.
Yeah. It's a whole trend too. Like,
Yeah.
I shouldn't be here. I'm, for them, 28 is old, right? But
yeah.
they're like, I'm 28. I checked on this to see what was going on. Now I'm addicted.
Yeah. I believe
But here's a living example of this man's going to make millions of dollars from a TikTok trend.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's super important for artists and I think record labels because it takes like music and it transcends just music. It makes it relatable to the public.
Yeah.
Right. Because it's like, it makes it bigger than music because they're like, this song represents this action. Right.
Yeah.
So it's either a dance or it's like driving a car or it's doing something. And for a label, that's something that's valuable because they're like, wow, like this resonated with people.
Yeah, it creates an emotion with that song.
Yeah,
which
so,
is so
it's
valuable.
bigger than music.
And it's the way the app the way the app is engineered. If I see a video that's funny with Rudy's song, I can click the song, the sound. I can then save it, and I can hit make video, and it plays Rudy's song while I'm making my version, and then the next person sees it. So
Engineering-wise, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, the fact that he's seeing Spotify growth via TikTok
We saw Young and Reckless
Yeah.
growth. If you look at our graphs, there's
On
a
the Spotify
huge
or the
month
Instagram?
on the Instagram and then traffic to the site. There's a boost in all of it when we had this
So the
big
Chinese
week.
love us.
Yeah, we're big in China.
Well, TikTok's just a funnel right now. Like that's really what it is for like music. It's like it funnels you to.
and
They
they're
have
about to add link. They don't do link in bio right now, but they're on the verge of adding it. Certain accounts have it, like any feature.
Got it.
That's going to be so valuable.
It sends a lot of traffic.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden they're going to do swipe up, and all of a sudden they're going to do like it's. And I think that there's a unique opportunity where you could have like Anand could have 1 million followers on TikTok.
No way.
My Jurassic
He
Park, I
absolutely
should have.
could.
No, that
Absolutely.
video is too long.
He could. I mean, our old employees.
Too long.
For TikTok?
No, it's not too long for TikTok.
TikTok is like
probably
one
would've-
move.
No, you've made that up. You've made that up without looking at it.
Oh, you think it's dancing?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not dancing to our videos.
Our
Yeah,
Just driving a car. Yeah.
our old employees, one of them has Blake has a couple 100,000 followers. Krager's freaking dog has 1 million followers.
Those are all fake.
They're not. They're
They're
not.
buying. I bet you can buy fake TikTok followers. Taylor, buy me 1 million TikTok followers.
Yeah, see that? But the
They
thing
didn't hear that. They didn't hear that because he doesn't have a mic right here. But he said $12.
$12.
Sure, but that's not. Look at their views. I'm just telling you.
But like the
It's a
difference
unique
between that
opportunity.
and like what's happening in music is it's not the followers, it's the user created videos.
Yeah.
Right? So like there's
Yeah, of
human
course.
beings creating
what-
videos to
what's
What
the
if I
songs.
just paid?
But
so
hold on, hold on,
hypothetically,
hold on.
let me say one thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
What if I just paid 200 Chinese kids to go create videos for me? For
200
Good
isn't
Morning.
enough. Yeah. Like,
Okay, 2,000.
Why do you keep saying Chinese kids?
It's TikTok.
It's not a bunch
TikTok.
of freaking
Yo, disclaimer,
Chinese
One
kids
America
making
loves
videos.
Chinese people.
Yeah, you need to change your name to One Chinese.
One China.
No, I like One Chinese better.
I'm good. One America, baby.
I don't think it has to actually be a trend. Like you can't fake a trend.
But
at all.
if you, for example, here's a way to fake it.
Okay.
If I convinced 5,000 people to do a Good Morning video, it may pop.
No, but here's
But
what.
why
here's
didn't
how-
you do that then?
I just realized it just now.
You still have time.
Yeah.
But
I'm gonna wait till the 2-year anniversary.
What labels are doing is they're trying to say, here's our new hit record. Let's create a challenge and let's go pay 50 of the top creators to do the challenge.
And hope that it goes
And hope
viral.
that it catches.
Yeah.
And now.
So do you
we'll
think
have
record
everything.
labels are smart enough that they're doing that?
Yes, the 100% they
Yes,
are.
they are doing it. I know that for a
Yeah,
fact.
they are definitely doing it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, the
'cause
thing with
that's-
us is our song was 2 years old.
Yeah.
So we didn't have a record label. We didn't have, this is true organic. It
But we
happened.
actually have two examples now. Rudy obviously is doing incredible with his song, and Jay Sean with "Write It."
Write It, which is crushing it.
That was a 12-year-old song.
It's at least 12 years old. And now it's charting all over the world.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
nuts.
Yeah.
Just because of TikTok. The Chinese drama, you won.
Thank you.
That's why I called them in, just to prove that you were right.
Thank you, Rudy.
Everyone
Thank
listen
you.
to the song One America,
Yeah.
American Muscle.
Yeah, I would
Yo,
really.
Pete, make a video on the group chat thing, man. Fuck. Me and since I didn't get paid for the beat, you know,
At least
let
throw
me
some
yeah,
promo.
Yeah, throw some promo, man. Shit.
Here's some Chinese downloads.
You assholes. Rudy, I just have one suggestion. You can take me up on it or you can completely ignore me. I think that you guys should make one video
Yeah.
of like you performing the song or something, make it in TikTok fashion and put it up on a One America page so that people, like that video could have 2 million views next week the way TikTok works and it could really boost everything that's already
you be in
happening.
it?
Absolutely.
Everyone.
I have an idea.
All right.
I'll throw a
Get
piece
a,
of cheese
get a
on
top
D's face.
off, top off Ford Bronco,
Yeah.
tinted front. You guys playing
Hot.
drama driving.
Hot.
I'll have I have a mullet wig and
Yeah.
a bandana and
Wow.
I'll be driving the 5% tint.
Let's do it. Let's do it this week.
But no, you should really
But you
like
gotta
do
do
something
it
kind of
immediately.
goofy.
It's a
take
lot of
advantage.
darkies in the video already. You got Rudy, you got Jesse. We need to put drama in there.
Dark.
We got over here. We got Taylor, man.
They were going to Sean
They'll
from
love
Young and
Pete.
Reckless. Sean from Young and Reckless.
Yeah.
To boost the views.
Yeah. But yeah, you should really do that because it could like double everything that's already happening.
Yeah.
This is phenomenal. I love it.
No. Okay.
Good
The
stuff,
other
Rudy.
thing, last thing we got to talk about real quick is ComplexCon. So on Wednesday's episode, we're going to do a deep dive into ComplexCon. Our friend Neil, who sets everything up and gets all the brands involved and literally does everything, is going to come in and give us the breakdown. He's going to tell us everything he can contractually tell us.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a full deep dive. But being that is the anniversary of group chat and how we were birthed,
Yeah.
we should go over it real quick. We went there on Saturday.
Yep.
Me and D went. Anand did not.
I did not.
Rudy didn't. He's newly
How do you know that?
famous.
Famous.
I'm just famous right now. I'm surprised
too
I'm here.
Chinese.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
He was in Alhambra eating dim sum.
So let's talk about it real quick.
First and foremost, the amount of group chat listeners I ran into was insane. And what's crazy is Taylor was there, and I was telling him, like, man, I'm running into a lot of Cathys. It's fucking crazy.
Yep.
And then 5 seconds later, someone's like, hey, can you take a picture?
Yeah.
To me and a listener.
Yep.
And Taylor took the picture, and he's like, wow, this is like real.
Yep.
And I ran into so many people that listen to the pod, listen to group chat. And what's interesting is I used to think that was our demo. And then for whatever reason, I thought, I don't know, it just changed to a different demo.
Yeah.
But so many people I came up to, and all the people that I did run into that listened to the podcast were obviously very smart, like interesting, kind of interesting feedback on why they liked it. And then I could just I kept walking around the show, and I spent a lot of time, probably did like 5-10 laps of just the show. I did the food area 2-3 times. My biggest takeaways I'll give you, Jesus is King is King.
Okay.
The amount of Jesus is King merch on Jewish kids I saw
Yep.
was out of control.
That's the kicker.
Yes.
It's all the young Jewish kids. Like, I wonder what their mom and dads honestly think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, those families. If you go home covered in Jesus is King, there's no way. They're probably sneaking out and putting it on like old, like you used to do with Eminem stuff.
Yeah. So the impact, Kanye impact on fashion is still bigger than ever. Mm-hmm. It's Jesus is King. It's the amount of Sunday service Jesus is King merch I saw was bananas. I saw so many people wearing Yeezys. Mm-hmm. I saw a lot of Off-White accessories. Didn't see a lot of Off-White footwear.
Too expensive.
The number one shoe I saw by far were colorways of the Nike Sacai collab. Mm-hmm. By far, that was like the biggest shoe. Mm-hmm. I saw all the other brands I saw were like V-Lone. I saw Girls Don't Cry. I saw, what else did I see a lot of? I didn't see any Supreme. I didn't see any fucking kid wearing Supreme.
So you think Supreme's done?
Well, I think
Pete,
that's
did you
a
see
risk.
anyone wearing Supreme? I mean, not one kid wearing Supreme.
Yeah, I think Supreme has become like not that anymore.
Like corny?
Supreme is really, really cool to like the person that's not really cool anymore, I think.
Yeah.
And sorry if I'm wrong, streetwear people, but like I think that that group, because Complex, one of my notes is it felt like ultra cool. Like it felt like Fairfax Festival.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't a lot of big, huge corporate shit.
Yeah.
So I think to that crowd, Supreme isn't that cool. Like Supreme's cool to the people who don't quite know what, you know
Well,
what I mean?
I think that means that Supreme's in a different like realm now.
Yeah.
They're not.
They're mainstream.
They're mainstream.
They're
and-
They're like a
mainstream
Ralph Lauren. You buy Supreme when you're just...
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Which I think is fine because I also
I don't know
think,
if it's fine though.
I think it is. You want to know why I think it is? I know the argument, but the reason why, and I want to hear your thoughts. The reason why I think it's fine is because even though that place was like the coolest of the cool, it was so fragmented. You would have had to see it to get it.
Right.
But there were so many brands that I had never even heard of that are really cool, that have followings, that people were lined up for and all that stuff, but I've never even heard of them. Yeah. And it felt very like a shit ton of little brands as opposed to any big leaders. So I think that it's okay for, like Nike wasn't there either.
Right.
So I
Adidas
think it's
wasn't there.
okay for Supreme to be this.
So is your statement that Supreme is so big that it doesn't matter? That they don't, that like they're Nike?
Too big to fail.
Yeah, I think there's like a different narrative. I think
Right.
that like there's one thing of being cool to the coolest of the cool. We see from ComplexCon, there may not be a huge business opportunity in that. I don't know if you can do $100 million in revenue for the coolest of the cool.
Right.
If you want to be the coolest for everyone, you can be Supreme. You can be a $1 billion brand. And I
Yeah.
think that that's what they are. But to the coolest of the cool.
Like, I don't think
But,
Supreme
I
is
mean-
canceled. I think it's
I
just
think
not...
Supreme's obviously not canceled, but my point is they do so much revenue, and that was I like mentally didn't understand how they were considered so cool when a business is doing like
Yeah, it
hundreds
was a
of millions
trick.
of dollars of revenue.
It was a mind trick.
And
I
by the
was
way...
like, how do you do so much revenue
Yeah.
and you're still considered
still looked at
elusive
as-
and cool?
Yeah.
And
I don't know. I don't know. That was a sleight of hand.
I know, but I mean, I saw some backpacks and accessories, but I didn't see the box logo. It's, you know what it is fashion, and just like everything else in the world, is fragmented. And even if you're not into streetwear, you're not into fashion, you're not into any of the stuff we're talking about right now, it is important to note that ComplexCon is a good indicator of how everything else is going to be, because I think it is an early trend of what's going to happen in other industries, is that customers have so much choice, they just pick whatever they like.
Yeah.
All right,
Like
so
I saw 100 brands I've never heard of that had lines.
Yeah. And they were really well done and looked cool.
Yeah, and the food lines, by far the longest.
Yeah,
I heard
food's
chicken
hot.
was hot.
Vegan and chicken. So Munchies, which is actually, you know Wally, he has a shop in Santa Ana, Munchies Vegan Diner. This dude had 100 people in line. I literally, I had to like say hi to him so he'd let me cut. So I was like, hey,
So you get your food.
so I can get my food.
But I have a question for both of you.
Yep.
You guys went there.
Yeah.
Yep.
You guys have a pulse on the culture.
Yep.
Got a big pulse.
Mega.
Give me some like people to look for in the next couple years, next year or two.
Ooh.
Like brands?
No, personalities, brands, whatever. We know who the people that like we talk about.
I think honestly the biggest opportunity. So here I'll give you a couple of takeaways. The best product at the show by far, I don't even think there was anything close, was the Murakami Lakers collab. That shit was fire.
Is it because the Lakers are hot?
It's the Lakers,
Yeah.
and it's Takashi Murakami, one of the most famous artists in the world, and he's just walking around, and it's Lakers. The line, Tyrell in her office probably waited, no joke, an hour and a half, 2 hours to buy that shit.
He did. He got it.
More than 2 hours?
He was there. I think he was there for like 2+ hours.
2+ hours to buy the.
Did he get it?
Yeah, he got it.
Okay, good.
But that was, to me, like ComplexCon owned the best product in my opinion.
No, but I'm talking about like the next.
It's
you'd
hard,
like a young
man.
Virgil.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't think it's going to happen like that.
So this is what I noticed. This is and I don't want to say it's good or bad because I don't know yet. I want to talk to Neil. It felt like there's, like the word fragmented is the best I know to say. There were so many little brands and like a lack of, like they all have their own little followings, but there's no adults, if that makes sense. And I mean, like you used to go to Magic and Agenda and all this stuff and you would see these big things and then they would have little projects within them. This is all, every kid has the ability to start a Shopify store, to find a screen printer, to do his own thing, to build an audience on Instagram, and they are doing that and it's working. I mean, our social media manager had a booth. They looked incredible. He has a brand called Lavender. It looked great. And his product, he said that he was selling a lot of stuff and that he met a couple buyers and whatever. You have the ability to do that on the side after your job or whatever and create a little following. And it really reflected that. So I didn't see anyone like in charge. No. Like obviously Ruigi and the Rude booth was incredible. The line was insane. Pac had a great booth.
Yeah. They had a good booth.
There were these few people, but Puma had a huge presence. But like, it felt like all of these young people just starting their own thing.
It's the most entrepreneurial fest. It was the epitome of an entrepreneur festival.
But do you know what's cool about it is because the energy you're describing is how I felt Magic used to be 15 years ago.
But even then, there was always those big companies that we didn't know who they were at the time.
Yeah.
That were pulling the strings that didn't allow us
You're
to.
saying that entrepreneurs.
Now
it's
it's
like
like
pulling strings. There's not even one person who has 5 brands.
Yeah.
It's all kids.
It's all kids.
No, but I'm talking about the energy. Like the energy of Magic in 2005 was incredible.
This energy is even better because, one, it's super diverse. Men, women, Mexican, black, Asian, Indian, whatever you want. It's all of it. And then young and old. Like I saw some old people out there hustling. Like, yo, this is my jacket brand, and they're like in their 50s.
Wait, so like let me be like the listener avatar. So is this like peak culture right now? Like
No, this is the future.
This gets bigger?
This gets way bigger because, look, I don't know how many people
This
came.
is marginalized now, right? Just too many like.
You're empowering consumers.
But think about it
That's
the exact same way as content or music. Think about music. Like there's a few massive people, that's Nike, right? Adidas. then there's all of these little artists that can tour and they can do little venues and they can make a living and they have a fan base. It's that. So what ends up happening to that, I don't know. Like, do they go upwards to conglomerates and eventually there's some order again and there's some really big players? Or does it just continue to fragment? It's the same as music. Like, labels might go away and you might just have your little hustle.
Yeah, but like in music, there is a glass ceiling you can hit as an independent artist, right? There's a reason why Nipsey Hussle, as much as he was like the originator of like independent hustle, he's still signed to Atlantic Records in 2017.
Yeah.
Right? Like there is a glass ceiling and you will have to sign to hit radio to go to tour.
Fashion doesn't need that.
There isn't?
But
You can break through. If you're hot enough, like you're antisocial, like they're a great example, or you're Fashion Nova, or you're one of these folks that just like figured out how to reach people. You don't need, and you can just, you do the work to figure out how to make the clothes. Because that's the only difference between a small business and a big business, as long as you have the following, is like they just have better infrastructure.
But isn't the equivalent of like the exit? So like for a musician, like me, I'm independent right now. I own my masters. I'm monetizing. But the exit, I'm going to re-sign. Yeah. Right? Because I'm going to get that big check. Isn't that what Virgil did? Right, when he went to...
Sure, but that's like, he's a very rare case. Everyone else just needs to run a profitable business and hope they make some money along the way.
And Virgil's different because Virgil's like, I don't even know how to compare this, but it's like if you had he's like a great producer. And he can work with any artist and they just want to hear him, right? He's Murder Beats or whatever when he's hot, right? Timberland back when he was hot, right?
Come on, drama. Go Rudy Go.
Of course, go Rudy Go, but you know the point, right? So what I'm saying is where One America is the brand. And so Virgil came up through Off-White, but then he went and did Nike, blah, blah, blah. So if it's like if Go Rudy Go blew up through One America, but then Go Rudy Go became the hottest producer in the world, that's Virgil. Right. And I think that the signing to a label, I think the signing to a label thing is this. People would debate signing to a label. They would say, yes, at the end of the day, you do need it to really go that extra mile. Some people would say, no, you never do, right? I think in fashion, there's something very similar happening where you can do 30, 40 million bucks by yourself online. You don't need retail to do that. But I do think at that size, people would start offering you money to take you global, to take you to retail, to take you all that stuff, and that you would need a major label equivalent to do. Right. But you can do so much business without that. And I think it's an influx of all these people where like that level of signing the deal isn't even this year. It's not even part of the conversation. It's all these quote unquote independent artists that are making a living and having fun and whatever. And you can do that so easy. You don't need that. You don't need D. You don't need that guy that's been in clothing for a long time. You don't need that partner. You can just sort of scrap it together.
Yeah. There's
and
so
do
many kids
$5
doing
million
it.
bucks or $3 million bucks or whatever it is, 2 million, 1 million. And there's so much of that. It was so interesting.
Yeah. It's great. Pretty cool.
Yeah. And there was a lot of like, people smoking weed and like
everyone's smoking weed. Weed is hot.
Yeah. I think this was weed.
This is definitely weed. People were just literally rolling up joints and just walking around.
Yeah, it felt almost like a little bit of the old days mixed with the new. I don't know. Yeah. It's really interesting.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
So anyway, I'm curious to hear the numbers.
Yeah.
And we'll get a full recap from Neil.
And we'll get a full recap on Wednesday. Okay.
Great.
Ready for some news? Let's talk about somebody else who doesn't need a major label.
Yeah.
The creators of Baby Shark.
Yes.
So there's this article about the creators of the Baby Shark song. That's the most famous song to ever hit the planet Earth.
Yeah.
Apparently this family's now worth like $120 million.
Yeah. I mean, one of the families that own it is worth $125 million.
Yeah. Which says, so these people have different companies, and it sounds like they've been in business and been creating things for a while, but like it says that now one of the families is worth around $125 million, mostly from Baby Shark.
That's fake news. That's not possible. It's not possible from a song.
Well, here's the thing is, the company that started, that sang or created the song is an educational company, and they use the song to launch a series of products.
Sure.
So they launch educational products based around the song. And the kid who created it, his father is the head of Samsung Publishing. Samsung Publishing is an investor in the business. And I think the song itself has generated, I'm sure, a lot of money.
Yeah.
But the businesses that it spurred is just insane.
Sure.
And just from one song.
Yeah.
Because think about it, like if you could sell Baby Shark Halloween costumes, Baby Shark toys, Baby Shark.
Yeah, Rudy, you should open a window tinting place. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, that's a great idea. Let's do it. That is a great
Get the
insight.
official One American
5% tint.
You only do 5%.
Can we do group chat 5% tint merch?
Yes, let's do it. Oh yeah, there we go.
You should do sunglasses
Yeah.
that
Let's
are
do it.
5% tint.
I like that. That's a great idea. But it's interesting that in this case, this business started in 2010. The song has now created this probably close to $1 billion business at this point.
For sure.
And the World Series, I didn't watch the World Series, but I know that the song that was played for the
For
Nationals.
the Nationals. That was the Nationals theme song.
Yeah.
What's the...
They just
Okay.
They have the
Not mad at them. Why
yeah,
not?
kind of
they
weird,
played
but
the Baby Shark and
Yeah,
they won the World Series, so it worked.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting, like, and this is this is a business that was built around a song. And no offense to Rudy, but musicians for the most part are morons.
Wow.
And
This is from the guy who thinks everyone's a moron.
yeah, so I definitely think musicians are morons. But like, if you know how to properly take advantage of a hit song, it is worth way more than the song itself. The problem is most folks, it is what it is. It's just a song and they move on, but there's a business to be created. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're a company, right? They're not traditional like music publisher.
Yeah.
They're not traditional. So they use the music as a vehicle to sell product.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, that's a different story. But as far as music and publishing, there's a glass ceiling you're gonna hit always, and it's $10-20 million. Right. And then you go merch, and then you start like scaling that song.
The thing is if you take advantage of that moment to create something else.
Yeah.
Like if you started a protein powder called American Muscle.
Okay.
Oh.
See, here we are.
There we go.
Welcome to the Entrepreneur
D,
Roundtable.
we don't have
Shout out to
manager right now.
You want sponsors? Run the ads.
Run the ads. Hi, well, this podcast is brought to you by American Muscle.
Do you want to be a strong, big, white
Are you a
American
little
man?
bitch?
Do you want to be Pete?
Do you want to look like Pete when you wake up in the morning? Just a big ginger guy from Wisconsin?
Pete's gonna be in the video.
Everyone is before and after the after is always Pete. Ever since I tried American
Next
Muscle.
couple of years for sure. Pete's
Yeah,
got
we should
those
do like
young
the
jeans.
before me and then like after American Muscle protein powder Pete.
Pete, yeah. With an American flag.
Just wrapped in American flag.
Do you want the USA flavor?
Yeah, and then it's all of a sudden Pete saying, build that wall. Build that. Like, what? What happened?
Enough protein to help you build that wall.
Side effects are, might turn racist. Okay.
right.
Anyway, good for them. I mean, when you talk about the absolute dream, I guess it's to create, the next Baby Shark and just print money.
Yeah, seriously.
Okay.
Newsletter on it tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Newsletter
great.
on Baby Shark? There we
I
go.
like that.
Good call. Okay, next up. It looks like, as we all know, we're in the era of, oh gosh, I want to tread lightly here, outrage. And we want to make sure that everything's equal and that everyone's being treated fair. And we want to make sure that nobody's getting their toes stepped on. Now, I think we would all agree that, a lot of this is good. And we're fighting a lot of good issues. A lot of it gets a little blown out of proportion and everyone's getting participation trophies, right? Mm-hmm. The new thing here is that apparently there's this trend happening where Hollywood assistants are revolting. They've had enough. They're sick of being treated unfairly. And there's some hashtags coming and some stories coming out. I don't know. I mean, I have mixed feelings. Obviously, I don't think anyone should be physically assaulted. I don't think anyone should be sexually assaulted.
Yeah.
I also do.
Thanks for the disclaimer.
I also
Same, bro, I'm the same.
Shit out of
just
them
saying.
and don't sexually
Just saying,
assault.
but I
He's like,
do.
I'm okay with physical assault, but sexual assault? I don't think so.
But fuckers, I also kind of like. I kind of like what it takes to move up the ranks in the world.
Yeah.
And I think that there is value in like getting the shit kicked out of you. And I
Yes.
think that like,
Yeah.
not anyone should be able to come into any world and be treated with the utmost respect and the utmost fairness. And I think that some of the greatest business leaders who make this world go around were created by getting the shit kicked out of them.
Yeah.
And that's what it takes to be that. So I have mixed feelings.
And so LA Times did a whole story on Hollywood assistants looking to revolt, and I'm in the same boat as you. I'm probably a little more annoyed at the article.
Yeah.
So
You're more of a
you-
like throw a stapler at Pete's head type.
like
of guy.
I'm more like Ari Gold Lloyd.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lloyd? Yeah.
Like Pete's Lloyd.
Yeah, Pete's Lloyd.
Yeah. Okay, good. It's better.
Pete hasn't even seen Entourage, so
That's
we know
He
insane.
lives it.
And what I don't understand is, so these people are complaining about being an assistant, that they were underpaid, they didn't get overtime, they were mistreated, there were all these things.
Like one of the stories is that an assistant had to camp outside of a comedy club every night for
Yeah.
2 weeks to try to find this comedian that an agent wanted to sign.
What's the big fucking deal? Then go do it.
I don't know.
I mean, like,
yeah, I have no issues with like the grind of being a junior person at a firm,
and
regardless of industry. And like, from my personal experience, when I was an investment banker, and I was 22 years old, I got the shit kicked out of me. I was paid really well, so like,
yeah, that's a difference.
Yeah, we feel
Is that
so
these
bad
people
for
are
you.
paid minimum wage.
sure, but like, I was paid well, but I was doing high level work
Yeah,
on top of it.
Yeah.
But I was treated like shit.
yeah.
Like I was told like very like mean things, and I was told to shut up. I was told to just shut up and excel.
Yeah. Shut up and
Shut up and
Excel
crunch
file.
numbers, you fucking Indian dork.
What were you saying, D?
The interesting thing is that in a place like Hollywood, where there are thousands of people waiting in line to take those people's jobs,
Yep.
to be an assistant at one of the big talent agencies,
Yep.
you know how many kids would die to be an assistant for an agent?
Yep.
And now these people are revolting. Then you knew what you were signing up for.
Yeah, go to another industry.
Yeah, go to a different industry.
But also, I believe that this happens in a lot of places. I think
Yeah.
Hollywood's obviously the most, like where the light is the brightest on it.
Yeah.
But this happens in a lot of places, as it should. And I
Yeah.
also think that like a lot of these places function at such a high level, they don't have time to sit and baby and train and make sure everyone's okay. Like you'd need a whole nother set of staff just to manage assistants.
Yeah, and it's pretty annoying if I'm running one of these talent agencies and I'm building the pipeline of my next set of leaders, because these assistants become agents who become the power players of our entertainment industry.
Yep.
And I'm friends with a lot of agents. They are fucking hustlers.
Yep.
They are smart. They are so
They
talented.
grinded.
They
And that's
grinded.
what gets me is if you don't think that Ari Emanuel today is doing his equivalent of camping outside of a comedy club and waiting to talk to that comedian, you're wrong.
He's still doing it.
They are grinding.
Of course.
They're all night on the phone, on the whatever, doing whatever it takes to get the thing done.
Yeah.
And that's what it takes to operate. I don't know. I just think that, and I don't want to be insensitive. Maybe there's more to this story, but I read this article to make sure. And the story as an example was camping outside of a comedy
Yeah.
club for 2 weeks and not getting reimbursed for gas. It's like, I don't know, man. I don't feel bad about that.
Yeah,
that's nothing. Like
That's nothing.
When I first started in the record business, I came in. I was like,
You were sucking people off, weren't you?
I wasn't.
Oh
but
my God.
I've seen,
Our parents listen to this.
bruh.
They should know the truth of what's happening in the
I've,
entertainment
not
like,
the
industry.
truth.
this story is nothing. This is, first of all, D's story is fake news. I've done a lot of dirt, not that. But no, I mean, yeah, like you got to earn your stripes, like that, and especially when you get into such a competitive industry like the music business. Like, come on, man. Like, I came in under like the greatest. I was mentored by the greatest producers. Like, but camping outside for 2 weeks, bro. Like, I've bought drugs. I've like brought hookers. Like, I've done everything. I've turned my head. Like, you gotta like play the game.
I know
Like,
Rudy's told me some pretty crazy stories. They're good stuff.
Yeah, that's just what he would say on the podcast.
Yeah, this is me. This is
It's way worse.
censored, Rudy. Yeah. Yo, hit me up at Go Rudy Go. I'll tell you guys everything. DM me, Venmo me, hit me up. I got all the dirt. No, yeah, like you just gotta like. This is LA, like you know what I mean, like or any major city. Like you want to play, like you want to get into the game.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna take your spot.
And I
Like,
also think this is a huge opportunity for someone that's willing to just sacrifice
Yeah.
and shut up.
Because here's what I think at the end of the day is like, no matter what happens, all the outrage, all the hashtags, that's what's going to win anyway, are the people who do that. So
Right.
all that we're doing is misinforming people that safety's coming and comfort is coming. And so like, no, just fight for your rights to not sit outside of a comedy club every night. And it's never coming. So all you're doing is leading those people down the wrong path. Because the
100%.
people who are going to win are the people who operate this way.
Yeah.
Shouts to Pete.
Shout out to Pete, man.
Shout out to Lloyd.
Is Pete
Lloyd?
yeah. Is
I
he-
mean, what is he? What did you have to do so hard like yesterday?
You drink tequila.
Yeah, I mean, he
Yeah.
had to drive me home. That was about it.
that's good.
But I'll give it up to Pete. Even though Pete's job isn't that hard. That being said, there's a lot asked of him.
Yeah.
He has a great attitude. We've had similar employees
Yeah.
in similar positions
Yeah.
that can't take even what Pete does.
No.
They may go to Bali.
Shots fired.
There's many.
But yeah, I mean,
right?
Pete's
There's many people. That
this
can't.
week. Pete's working 7 days this week.
Oh, that's tough, Pete. Tough
Yeah.
life. Tough life you
Yeah.
got over.
No, but Pete does with a good attitude. And he actually has.
Yeah, he's not annoying to be around. Like, oh, my bad attitude pussies.
Yeah.
He's also kind of ready.
I think Pete's gonna do well.
Yeah, I do too. Okay.
Okay.
Shut up, Pete.
Ready to shut up. All right, ready to move on?
Yes.
Let's talk about this post, this Kanye Firefest post. Kanye, this post went viral over the weekend of a brunch at Kanye's Sunday service that looked exactly like a Firefest photo. It was
Yeah.
like 2 shitty pancakes, like 2
Like a
pieces of
wiener.
bacon, a wiener. and it was like, I bought this for $55. Kanye ripped me off. And it really looked like Kanye was throwing a Firefest,
Yes.
right? So it turns out the catering company who is responsible for this came out and said, don't blame Kanye. This was our thing.
Yeah.
That was one customer.
Yeah.
And now this is snowballed.
I really put this as a topic because I felt like we give him a hard time all the time.
Yeah.
And this one was, when I saw it, I was like, oh, scammer. Selling all his merch.
I couldn't
and then,
wait for group chat.
Yeah, I was like, I saved this article.
Yeah.
And then I Googled it again to find some more information. And then it was fake news
Yep.
that the caterer was doing this, charging $55 for pancake sausage combo, which is insane.
Yep.
But with that being said, it's a great idea.
What?
Like if there was a brunch precursor or post,
Oh, yeah.
Jesus is King.
Yeah, of course.
Such a good idea.
These people just fumbled. But props to them for stepping up and accepting.
Yeah, because I mean, like, because here's what came out of it was that Kanye is out of pocket on all this stuff.
Yeah.
He's paying for the choir to come.
Yeah.
He's paying for their travel, hotels, food. So, I mean, I'm sure this whole, like, experiment is costing him a lot of money. Luckily, a T-shirt is $55, so he's going to be fine.
Everything's $55. You know what I mean? You get a Gildan t-shirt, 2 pancakes, whatever. They're all $55.
Yo, I know a lot of the musicians on his tour.
Yeah.
They're getting paid.
Are they? Like, real money?
Yeah.
He
Like,
must be
yeah.
spending
He's so rich.
much money.
He's so
But he
rich.
Well,
said
he
he made
doesn't care.
115 mil and was 35 mil in debt.
No, but
This
he
is
doesn't
why.
care, right? Like he just spends.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Because it's kind of endless.
it will be endless. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I would like to predict, I don't think it's endless, and I think he will.
Well,
find
if
himself.
Kim divorces him, then it's not endless. As long as Kim's around, he's fine.
I don't know. He seems really, really.
Did you guys talk about his album?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think as a musician?
I think it's a Kanye album. I don't think it's like a gospel album. Like I think it's like a.
Yeah.
But as a Kanye album, then did you
I
like
think it's
it?
like a 6 out of 10 Kanye album.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
But like, here's the thing: I'll
That's
take a
pretty
6
good.
out of 10 Kanye album over a lot of the shit I'm hearing right now.
Sure, yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Well, a
you
lot
know.
of people aren't even.
6
really
is generous,
choosing.
though.
Yeah.
I'd give it a 4.
Wow.
And I
Are
like
you a big Jesus guy?
I mean, you're sure. Like I've done a lot of cool shit in my life. You know what I mean? Like I
No,
think.
but he's asking if you're religious.
No, but like I don't think I'm like exception. I think I'm talented, but I don't think I'm like God. I've had 7 #1 records in my life. You know what I mean? So like I have to believe that.
So Rudy is king.
No, I believe that like there is people. I believe in God. Yes, I'm very very big believer in like I've been given abilities and then I've cultivated those abilities and worked hard.
So
and
that's
I've
all
gotten here.
because of God.
I just told you I worked hard, motherfucker.
Okay,
I'm since 3 years old.
making sure. I wanna know who you're giving credit to when you're up on the stage.
To my hard work.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
But
yeah.
then God.
But there's just so much like I've had a lot of money in my career. I've had no money and I've had a lot of money again and no money and I'm back to having a lot of money. You know what I mean? Like I have to believe that strength comes from something.
Yeah.
So I think like as a musician, I could see the connection.
So you think this
To
Kanye
God.
experiment's gonna work?
I think Kanye's he will go back to making secular music. Yeah. I think I don't know if you guys have noticed, but he has a very similar career arc to like Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan.
I know one song.
Yeah, so Bob
Hurricane.
Dylan was like very political, rock star. And then he found Jesus. He did a few Christian albums,
Wow.
gospel albums. And then he went back to just being regular Bob Dylan. Yeah.
I think that's the case with Kanye. He's
Yeah,
gonna come
I
back
think
and
he's
just-
going to come back to it. But I appreciate the artistry, the arc. I appreciate everything. I appreciate how transparent he is. He's a mess, but as a creative,
I just think there's a risk of him being like in a mental hospital.
sure. Yeah.
You
But
know?
like this music shit will drive you crazy, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
fame is dangerous, man. Like unless you've been on stage,
Yeah.
like I've been
Well, especially
on
that
stage.
level. That's why I think that Jesus is King doing well, 270,000 sales is like the worst thing that could have happened for his. Because now he feels like he
Vindicated.
is Jesus.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jesus probably would have sold more records.
Jesus. I mean, Post Malone.
In
did, so-
2019. I don't know. What did Post Malone sell first week?
I think so. More than that.
Yeah, definitely more than that.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Moving on.
Yep.
Big UFC fight over the weekend.
Yeah.
On Saturday.
Boo! Shut the fuck up! Boo!
I'm not Donald Trump, man.
Jesus.
Jesus is king. So, big UFC fight. Number one, the part that you guys, I'm sure, don't even know anything about or care is this was a huge fight between Diaz and Masvidal, and they.
Both were true. We neither know nor care.
Yes. So, but just for our listeners,
thought it was Conor
you mother
McGregor.
effers. No, it wasn't freaking Conor McGregor. Okay. Fuck you. But the
I
point
watched
is,
it. We good. Let's go.
Thank
Let's
you.
talk
So
about
the
it.
point is, this
That's
is
your demo.
It is. Shouts to my Latinos.
so this is a huge fight. They make up a belt that's the baddest motherfucker award, right? That's like who's the baddest guy in the
What does
whole
that mean?
UFC. It's because one of the guys came out and said, "I'm the baddest motherfucker." If anyone wants to challenge
So
me,
they gave a award.
So Dana White, being the business genius that he is, made a belt that's the BMF belt, the baddest motherfucker belt.
And who'd he give it to?
Whoever won the fight, and then so The Rock presented it. The
Oh
Rock,
my God, The Rock was there?
yes, The Rock did all the
hot.
press conferences. The Rock did all the
How much they paid
marketing.
him for that, $1 million?
Who knows? But The Rock walked out with the belt before the thing started. Like, it was this huge thing. Donald Trump came. We'll talk about that. The point is, this fight it's supposed to be 5 rounds. These guys are beating the shit out of each other. Incredible fight.
Who won?
And the guy who everyone loves is kind of getting the shit kicked out of him, right? He has cuts on his eyes. You guys have seen a million UFC fights. You know their faces a lot of times are covered in blood. No big deal.
I've never seen any UFC fight.
I've watched some.
But they're fighting in New York, which New York obviously has very strict everything. The doctor comes in after the 3rd round, checks this guy's face, which is a cut like he gets on every single fight.
Oh, wow.
It cancels it, shuts it down. So the other guy wins, and it was like the biggest
Who's the other guy?
Masvidal. He's this other fighter that a lot of people love and is
What
really, really good.
country is he from?
Latinos,
from
baby, both of them. Let's go.
Miami.
You know, we got the heart. We fighters, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We out here.
It was literally Stockton, Latino from Stockton
Miami.
versus Latino from Miami.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I feel
And,
like Nate Diaz is a Tarek guy.
He's a what guy?
Tarek guy?
Tarek,
don't
our
know.
boy up
He
north.
might be. He knows like a little bit of everyone.
Yeah,
Because
he
he'll
knows
train with everyone like in
Yeah.
the LA area. So anyway, the point is, it was a huge letdown. So everyone was really upset.
Oh, okay.
But that wasn't the only time everyone was really upset in the night, because Donald Trump came to the fight, which is crazy in its own. But
Yeah.
I think him and Dana White are friends. And I thought maybe, just maybe, because UFC is a little different. Dana White's the leader. He likes Trump, whatever. Maybe he'd be okay there. Not okay at a Nationals game. Maybe he's okay there.
Yep.
Nope. He walked in to just screams and boos. I mean, this guy can't go anywhere.
So what's funny is I saw the whole thing happen on Instagram or social media. I saw the booing. Then some other random conservative person, I'm almost positive they edited the video of people cheering when he walked in. So I was so confused. I was like, are they booing or are they cheering? I don't
was
know what's
fake
going
news.
on.
Definitely booing.
Yeah, that was
Booing.
fake.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I saw like 100 videos of him
Yeah.
getting booed.
Yeah.
So now we saw the Nationals game at the World Series. He got booed, lock him up. Madison Square Garden, he probably thought New York City UFC, he's safe there.
Yeah.
He got booed. I don't know if this guy's going to come out. Then I see on Instagram, Michael Rubin posted a selfie or like a pic, and in the background is Trump, and all the seats in front of him are obviously, like no one can sit there because he's obviously the president. I don't know if it was a jab or not, but look at the pic. It's pretty cool. I just think that Donald Trump, knowing that it's an election year, he should sit his ass home. Because the booing is not good for his image. Because I was shocked when I saw booing at UFC. He
I
should
actually
have.
don't think it matters.
No, I think it does matter.
I think
No.
it does.
It
At
It
this
does.
point.
UFC booing matters. You don't understand this.
UFC is America. UFC is.
Yeah,
No, but
it does matter. I'm telling you, it matters.
so wait, what are you trying to extrapolate from this?
I'm extrapolating that.
Is that a big word for you?
Really? You're not the only smart one here.
Yeah, no.
I don't. Why the fuck do I extrapolate?
It's a pretty
You think
basic
everyone's an
word.
idiot, but to get hit with a big word.
Yeah, I'm extrapolating that Donald Trump went to the UFC fight.
Think he's
for
gonna win.
Marketing reasons.
Yeah, I think he's gonna win.
And he got booed. The problem is, most of the time when negative things happen to Donald Trump, his fan base never hears about it. His fan base was watching these two Latinos beat the shit out of each other.
That's right, baby.
And they heard the booing and they were like, "Oh my god, people don't like Donald Trump."
I think they watch baseball too, for the record.
Yeah,
Like I think any sport that his fan base watches, out of all of them, it's probably baseball.
baseball and UFC.
Yeah.
And the fact that he got booed twice, if you're Joe America sitting at home, you're like,
I mean, but he
They don't like the Donald?
He
They don't
walked
like
into
losers.
Madison Square Garden to watch two Latinos go at it. He should have known his market.
Yeah,
That's
he
true,
should.
too.
Yeah, he
Like,
should
there's
have
a lot of
gone. but he-
minorities that love-
he's still twisted that he's the king of New York.
No.
He
Well,
thinks
he
he's
just
Hova.
moved
Now he
out.
knows.
He just moved out. He moved to Florida.
He's a Florida man now.
yeah, he's a Florida man.
He's a Florida man. What is that?
He's doing it for tax reasons. He's
no, he
claiming
just,
residence.
no, but he also knows it's like marketing. Like,
But-
fuck New York. He knows none of his fans are in New York.
But he doesn't have to pay state tax on top of that.
Right.
Oh,
but
so
I
that's
think
what he did. He said he technically moved his residence from New York to.
Yeah.
Florida.
Which is amazing because
I
he
thought he
lives in
said, like-
Washington, D.C. How does he get away
Yeah.
with that? I don't even understand
I
that.
thought he made a statement saying like, "I'm no longer living in the White House. I'm
Yeah.
moving to Mar-a-Lago."
Yeah.
Like I thought when I saw the headline, I thought that's what happened.
Florida man.
Got it.
Would he even booed in if that fight was in Florida?
No chance.
No.
Yeah, so then what does it really mean? It's just
But it
location.
does matter because
Yeah, I
if you're
don't know,
watching
yeah.
the fight and you see the president get booed, you lose respect for him.
He would have definitely been booed in Miami, for sure. Yeah.
I don't know.
100%.
Miami's pretty.
No.
Miami, I think he would have.
Orlando, he would have been cheered.
Orlando, he might have got cheered.
Tampa Bay, they would put a statue.
Yeah, for sure. Jacksonville.
I do think Dee's right. I think that like so many people, like think about it, so many people that voted for him are following the whole thing about Trump
Yeah.
is lies about what he's going to do and what everyone else is doing. And people just jumped on the bandwagon. But when you see the bandwagon that all the people like you, which is UFC viewers, boo the president, then you're like, yeah, fuck him, I guess. I guess we don't like him.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Yo, holler at me, Trump, if you want to use American Muscle for 200020.
Oh, you're canceled.
You sell out. You freaking sell out.
You're lucky you're on this side of the wall, Rudy.
We out here. Hey, Republicans stream music too, baby. Let's
Oh,
go.
God.
Come on,
Michael Jordan over here.
Okay, this is a good time for Rudy to regather his thoughts and run some ads. So if we have them, run them. Okay, we're back. Let's talk about all things technology business. This is interesting. It looks like Netflix is looking at, like, the same way on podcasts. I know a lot of people that listen to group chat listen to it on sped up.
Yeah, one and a
mode.
half, 2 times.
Yeah.
I actually was in Ollie's car once, and I was like, what are you listening to? He's like, this is group chat.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. People
weird.
listen to it at like 2 times speed.
A lot of people do.
Yeah.
So shout out to all you guys who are listening to us right now.
Or you should speak faster.
If I went slower, they're going to hear me normally.
Yeah.
What just happened? Did it break? Okay, but it looks like Netflix is toying with the idea of letting you do that on videos.
Yeah,
which
so they
seems-
want to let you stream movies and TV shows twice as fast, which is outraging Hollywood.
Which I'm going to be honest, I agree with the creatives on this one. I didn't agree with the whole like it's not real movies if it doesn't play in
What do
theaters.
you care how someone wants to consume their content?
I agree.
If they want to watch it
You agree with
50
D?
times fast,
I agree with D.
If they're dumb enough to watch
I
it.
agree with D. Yeah. He's actually
cares?
You know what happened last time you agreed with D? You were wrong on TikTok.
I'm going to tell you guys right now.
No, I invented the TikTok take.
And then
The
you left
algorithm-
it. You said, let me invent the fucking light
Look.
bulb. And then like, nah, lanterns are okay.
All right, what are you talking about? Double time?
As a creative, we fight for pacing. Pacing is super
You're
important.
fighting? I don't see you protesting.
No, I fight for in my like in songs. In songs, empty space is the most musical thing you can do. What you don't do is doing more than what you're doing. And if you're speeding that up, you're not feeling that pace.
See, thank you. A real
I don't even
artist.
know what that means.
I
That's
have no
because he's an
idea what that
artist.
meant either.
You guys are just capitalist pigs.
Yeah.
He's an
It's
artist.
like you watch a fucking movie, right? It's the suspense. You're building suspense through space.
I watch most TV shows and movies with such low sound, which I have bad hearing.
Yeah.
That's 'cause you have
I
a
have
baby.
to have closed caption, and I read all the captions. I don't even know what the sound is
And
going
you're on your phone.
No, I'm not talking
It's on my phone.
It's not sound though, but it's like mannerisms.
You haven't watched the
I
full
don't even
movie.
know what's
it's-
going on.
It's nuance.
Like,
It's
think about a
nuance.
scene,
Yeah.
a famous scene in a movie where someone pauses as the news gets
Okay,
delivered, and then you don't-
name a scene. Name a scene that
It's
you give a
nuance.
shit about.
Any like that's the thing.
Nuance is that a movie?
It's a thing. You can't.
It's art.
You can't put words to
It's
it.
freaking art. You don't think they sit there for hours on end trying to get that pause perfect?
So stupid. No one cares. Name
That's
a
the
movie
beauty of-
scene. Name one movie scene that
A
you're
Few
like
Good Men.
A few
Yes.
days.
30 years ago. You're
good
talking
one.
about nothing recently.
What's your favorite movie?
Few Good Men's my favorite. movie.
Beetlejuice?
Jesus Christ.
Don't ask him that. Yeah, he watches the
Spaceballs
worst.
or Beetlejuice?
Spaceballs?
Yes.
I'm sure like people feel that. I'm sure there was a scene in like the last Spider-Man that was
Oh,
probably.
no chance.
You know, I'll give you a first one. Joker. Everyone loved the
Yeah, that's all
creativity of the
pacing.
Joker.
That
No,
was
no,
like-
name the scene.
You
There's a
didn't
lot
see
of
it, so
scenes.
I'll name 5 of them.
No, name one scene.
It was the whole scene where he was like driving in the cab, like not speaking. It's all nuance. It's just like those. It's the acting,
Yep.
right? It's that moment where you can communicate through your visual.
I agree. I agree on this one.
As a TikTok star, I
Exactly.
think you're wrong.
I think that on this one, I don't like the movie theater thing. That to me is like technology, the way people view content is changing. I think to be able to let people disrupt something you worked so hard on, I don't think is right. And I think Hollywood should revolt, and I think that Netflix should chill out.
Okay. Fine.
Besides, when else will you check your your Instagram feed?
Yeah, D.
If there's nothing going on in,
Yeah, you need that
in,
long
the, in the
pause
stream.
that
I
makes
mean, I'm
Yeah.
not going to a theater anyways. I don't give a shit. Nuance.
Oh, man.
Captain Nuance.
This
over
is
there.
good. Okay, next up. How about this one? Okay, so we've talked a lot about remote working, about hours, about all this different stuff. It looks like Microsoft Japan has started giving 3-day weekends
Yeah.
to their employees. And guess what they've seen? A 40% increase in productivity. So, are we not working tomorrow or what?
I'll tell you this. I think that is a better idea than remote working.
I agree.
I
do agree with you on that.
I don't mind if our whole society shifted to 3-day weekends,
Yep.
but it's a full four full days of working. I think I'm okay with that.
But I wonder if, do they pay less?
No.
They're same pay, same everything. They're
It's
just saying
Microsoft.
you're just
Well, of course.
I mean, Steve Ballmer's
Of course,
shoveling
but I'm saying,
margaritas.
like, what's the deal
Yeah.
here? Like, if I'm putting 4-day weeks for the employees, I want a break.
Here's the problem. I need to see it in a company that doesn't have products, that doesn't matter what the employees do. Unfortunately, if you work at Microsoft, what you do is irrelevant because they have so many incredible businesses and products
Sure.
that it doesn't matter. It's like, oh, Google only you have to work 14 minutes a day. Yeah, because they have the greatest search engine ever created and they shit cash.
Yeah, but I
So it
also think
doesn't
that's a
matter
very
what you in
flawed-
fucking Palo Alto do at Google.
I think that's like your theory of nobody's smarter than you. I think that's flawed. I think the way that you build,
What is anyone doing at Microsoft that's so great?
it's
they already
fucking
built everything.
Microsoft. I'm sure they're doing so much.
I'm actually, I hate to,
You're agreeing with me.
Son of a bitch.
I hate to agree with
What happened
you.
to you?
They're not doing anything. I have friends who work at all these companies, Google,
Yeah.
Microsoft. They're doing nothing. They're
They do
losers.
nothing.
Look at
so
Taylor
why-
knows.
So Microsoft,
To LinkedIn shits cash. $25 billion exit to Microsoft. Taylor worked there, did nothing.
Sales for 9 months, didn't do one sale.
Sa-
Doing great.
Yeah. Taylor did
amazing.
sales for
I
9
think
months and
it's
did nothing.
easy to be confused by companies that have insane product market fit and generate insane cash flow.
Yeah.
Which is Facebook, Google, Microsoft, like all these companies.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really matter what their middle management is. That like.
Does
that's
anyone care what anyone in Microsoft Japan is doing? No, it doesn't fucking matter.
I agree with that.
I don't.
Those poor Japanese people are waking up, working their ass off, and they're like, whatever. We're still rich. We're good.
Yeah, the problem is like middle management and multi-billion-dollar corporations that actually generate cash flow are hate to break it to anyone that's listening, that's our middle management in any of these companies, you're irrelevant.
You're a fat cat. You're a fat cat.
I get it, man.
But
I get the argument, but I
you
don't
know why?
agree that you can say the same way D can't say, everyone's stupid. Like, you can't generalize that much.
Here's the difference. You know, like our employees at our businesses actually make an impact whether we do well or not. We need them to do. We need them to work hard and produce results, or we don't succeed.
Yep.
In Microsoft, if they have like divisions,
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
But I would also then argue that their
Like, are you
measurement-
gonna stop searching Google because Jane or Joe
Jagdish in the Palo Alto office?
like went on for a longer break? Like, give me your.
But here's the other thing then. Then you're saying that their measurement of 40% increase is also made up.
Yes, 100%. It's stupid.
Okay. So this article is
stupid.
all fairy tales.
Yes, but I like the idea of a three. The only reason I was fascinated by it is I'm still not sold on remote working, but I'm down with a 3-day weekend.
Yeah.
I think
agree.
remote work and
Pete likes that. You're still working 7 days, Lloyd.
Yeah.
poor Pete has to be here at 7 in the morning tomorrow.
Yeah. And Taylor just comes in between Tulum trips.
Pete's it's literally the.
It's literally two approaches to life. Sitting right next to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think Taylor's winning.
Yeah.
yeah, it seems like
It's good to be Jewish from Beverly Hills.
I still, for our business, the remote working thing, I cannot.
So
get my
you'd
head
rather have
around.
the 3-day week?
100%.
3-day
But I'm
weekend.
saying to Anand, because Anand's a big remote working proponent. I can't see how it would work.
Okay.
Like, meaning, like, people will take long vacations and they're supposed to be working on and like, you just don't get anything done.
Right.
I don't know. I think that maybe at these tech companies, maybe it's opposite. Like, meaning at these tech companies, I guess you can get away with doing literally nothing, but maybe you can work remotely because everything's just on the computer.
I'm going to
anyway.
see if someone that we used to work with who worked at Google will come on and share his Google experience.
To say he did nothing.
You know who I'm talking about.
Oh, I have one of my best friends worked at Google. This is 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
His company got acquired, and they were told to come in, don't
Yes, but
work.
that is a unique
Don't work.
situation.
No, I'm
And-
talking about.
I'm talking about
Xander.
Okay, fine, but I'm talking about a friend who's and he's like, I'm leaving to start a company. They double the salary, double the stock options.
Yes.
They're like, don't leave.
Yes.
And he's like, I do nothing all day. I read books
Yeah.
all day. I literally come in at 11 a.m. I leave at 3 p.m. I read books all day.
Which is ridiculous.
What a dork. Why is he reading books?
He's a dork.
What do you want him doing? On
I mean,
Instagram?
watch like videos and shit.
Watch what? Spaceballs or whatever your favorite fucking movie is?
No, but he
On
was
Double
like,
Time?
I just got tired of reading books. I want to start a company, and they kept doubling his salary.
Yep.
And he went and started a company, and to his fault, if he just stayed, he would be rich as shit.
Agreed. All that I'm saying is that is a unique. It's not that it's not stupid. It's just a unique situation. That does not translate to all employees at all these companies do nothing. Right. That's what you're generalizing. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Listen to this. Let's talk about. Oh gosh. Okay. You guys didn't watch it. I asked you before we started. I watched the 3 episodes that are available of The Newsroom. No, it's not The Newsroom.
Morning
It's called
Show.
The Morning Show. The Newsroom is a better show.
Yeah.
That used to be on. But The Morning Show on Apple, it was cool. Nothing mind-blowing. But it's all around sort of a Me Too type thing.
Yeah.
Turns out the McDonald's CEO may have found himself in a little morning show type situation.
Looks like he was sticking his French fry where he shouldn't have been.
somebody else's sausage McMuffin.
He was dipping his French fry in a place he shouldn't have.
Too much dip on the chip.
Yeah. So what? This guy had a consensual relationship, it looks like, with an employee.
This
Not
idiot.
approved. Step
This
down.
idiot was making $16 million a year as a salary and got fired. I mean,
But-
he stepped down. Sure, whatever.
But it was a consensual relationship. We're not just not allowed to do that, right?
I'm sure that's my
So I'm
point. Is
screwed.
that there's a bigger story
You're
here.
screwed, man. Unfortunately, we
Yeah.
have to ask Anand to step
Step down.
down.
You gotta
I'm not
step
kidding. On Monday, we're gonna have to address this.
Wait, what happened on it? What do you do?
I married an employee.
one of his old employees.
Oh, you Me Too'd your way to the top.
Yes.
You Me Too'd out of your lawsuit.
He did marry, but he said on record last week, if you marry them,
It's okay.
it's okay. So as long as you get over the finish
And we
line.
have a kid. So
And you have a kid.
Yeah, so it's a
that was
lot.
no complaint.
A lot of, we overcame a lot of
Yeah.
obstacles.
You should be like a micro Me Too influencer.
Yeah. how to make it work.
I didn't know you had it in you, Anand.
Me too.
It's always the quiet ones you gotta worry.
That's
about.
right, man. I'm telling you.
They're handsy.
I remember the day. I
It's Lil
snuck
Wayne
out of the club
concert.
with one of our
Lil Wayne
employees.
concert.
A little
Lil
early.
Wayne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was afterwards at the club.
I know, but what was that club called?
I forget.
We're with Clay Matthews.
National or something. It was one
No,
of those old-
It was on Cahuenga.
No, it's God. Or Nick and Brick used to promote. God, I forgot the name.
Yeah,
But did it start like at a holiday party? I feel like all Me
No, it
Too
started at
starts
Lil
around-
Wayne concert.
I love how you're calling it a Me Too.
So when did this Me Too start?
When did you first sexually assault your wife? Okay.
That's not how you start.
No,
That's how
no,
you
we were
end.
Crimson. That's what it's called. Crimson.
We were at a club, and then they both just sort of left early at the same time, and it seemed a little weird.
Yeah.
Now they're married. Which at the time,
Just get
had
married.
it been 2009 and that happened, we probably would have had to
I'd probably be in
chase
jail.
you
Yeah,
outside.
I'd probably be in
We would
jail.
have changed him like, Anand, don't do it, dude. It's not worth it. Okay, so that's the part I don't.
And maybe our views on how this thing's work, like we live happily ever after.
If what?
But why does the McDonald's CEO is
No, my
stepping
point
down?
is like, whatever happened, we're happily ever after. We have
Yeah.
a kid. We're
Yeah.
great. We're a happy family.
That's why I'm just curious. Does Anand need to step down, or did the McDonald's CEO not need to? Because both can't be true.
I don't believe when it was a consensual relationship. I was shocked he stepped down.
Yeah.
Was he married? I don't know all the other.
Doesn't say in here.
I didn't.
So
read.
this is the CEO that came after Don Thompson, who actually introduced the breakfast menu. all
Breakfast
day.
all day. This
was
guy
this
should
guy.
get a statue.
This guy did it, Steve Easton.
Yes.
Oof.
You can't make this guy step down. He
You can't.
changed.
See, that's what I don't get. Is Kanye gets to be untouchable, but the guy who did all day breakfast doesn't?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What? Because college dropout.
Let me tell you something. More people got impacted by all day breakfast than college dropout.
1 trillion%.
1,000.
Like
Okay,
a
here's the
billion
kicker.
people got affected by all day breakfast.
Here's the kicker. It's just company policy, and it's demonstrating poor judgment.
Do you watch the founder? That guy didn't give a shit about any ethics or morals. Why is now all of a sudden the company has? It's a joke.
He literally says, as for my departure, I engaged in a recent consensual relationship with an employee which violated McDonald's policy. This was a mistake, given the values of the company.
It's convenient because they have had slow traffic at their restaurants recently.
Oh, so maybe that?
Yeah.
It seems like if you're on fire, you can have consensual relationships with all the employees you want.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can't have slow traffic to your
And
restaurants.
be dipping your French fry in
Yeah.
the sausage McMuffin.
Yeah. When your McMuffin is everywhere.
Okay. Well, whatever, man. I don't be careful out there.
It's
it
a big
depends on-
deal. I mean, McDonald's is one of the biggest companies in the world.
Yeah, it's huge.
Serious problem.
It just depends on your life, though. You know, you
Yeah.
might find your next wife, or you might implode your $16 million salary. Whichever one. Depends on who you ask. You really should maybe become a micro Me Too influencer. Finding love in the Me Too era.
Lil Wayne. Shout out to Lil Wayne.
How my consensual relationship with an employee turned into a lifelong love. Okay.
Fulfillment,
Let's talk about. Okay, we have one more politics. This is more of a whatever general business news. Under Armour is under federal investigation for some of their accounting practices.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like we know too much information yet, but the CEO did just strangely step down. What's going on here?
These are the stories that obviously never get covered. Mark Parker from Nike stepped down conveniently when he's sitting there doping all the runners.
Yep.
He steps down, gets caught, whatever, something happens. Kevin Plank, a week and a half ago, says he's stepping down as CEO of Under Armour, and now they're under investigation for accounting fraud. I don't understand how we never hear follow-ups about these types of things. This is why like this article really annoys me, is that this is the epitome of why everyone is so pissed off in the world, is that these people continue. Let's assume the McDonald's CEO, the only thing he was doing was dipping his French fry in a ranch that he was not supposed to.
Sure. Yeah.
That's the worst thing this guy was doing.
Yeah.
If you're committing accounting fraud that affects shareholders, people, and then you're talking about Nike CEO, God knows what he was doing, this shit just pisses me off, and it's really just frustrating that like.
But no one's incentivized to bring the system down, right?
Yep.
That's the problem.
That is the
Because
problem.
everyone makes so much money, the bankers, the lawyers, everyone. Like I'm not accusing the Under Armour CEO, but to your point, why people don't actually get taken down is because no one's incentivized.
Yeah.
Like keep the music going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's making money. Keep the music going.
Yeah. That's true. You're right.
We're never going to hear the full story of Under Armour, which sucks.
There needs
We're
to-
never going to hear the full story of Mark Parker.
No one's like JP Morgan should be sued to the fucking like bottoms of their revenue for what they did with WeWork. They tried to offload this fucking piece of shit business
Yeah.
in an IPO, and then 2 weeks later they were insolvent.
Yep.
Yeah.
And no one's talking about JP Morgan.
No.
No.
But you couldn't even really could you even put in place some sort of regulate? You couldn't. It would all just get corrupted.
The problem is that
Like, who could be the police in these cases?
honestly, the only people that know are the wealthiest people on the inside.
And like Jamie Dimon, the CEO of JP Morgan, he does these like, he does the circuit.
Yeah.
Hey, the arrogance.
He's so arrogant.
He's so fucking arrogant.
But how would
and
you
he's
not
just
be?
mocking us. He's literally mocking us at the stage of like a Goldman Sachs conference. Like, oh we work, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Like that's not our job. No, it is your job.
But my thing is, how could you not be? You would literally feel like you were the master of the universe.
Yeah.
Because you can do this, and then this whole thing happens, and you can say whatever you want.
The only good thing is that all these banks are going to get disrupted by crypto. So I'm happy.
Yeah.
And Jamie Dimon was the biggest dumbass who said Bitcoin is a fraud 3 years ago. And now he says Bitcoin's okay. And now JP Morgan's working on Bitcoin. Like, shut the fuck up, Jamie Dimon.
Yeah, I just wish
Tell us how you really feel.
I wish you could put in place some sort of police, but you never can, because those people would instantly get corrupted. Right? That's a human nature problem.
Yeah, that's the
here.
problem.
Okay. All right. It is what it is, guys. So you have two sides of the coin here. Either learn how to get in where you fit in, where people are stretching the rules and getting really, really rich, or the side of the assistants that are complaining because they have to wait outside a comedy club. So listen, I'm just saying this is how the
Either
world
get
is.
rich or be a comedy club bitch.
I didn't make the rules. I just play by them. Yeah. That's it. Okay. We have a full newsletter today about the baby shark phenomenon. So make sure you subscribe. Group-chat.com.
Baby shark.
Yo, D, remember when we tried to do the new Baby Shark and did Good Morning instead?
Oh, yeah. Wasn't that the original
That was the
concept?
original concept. But then the song was too good.
I
was
think,
like,
especially now that Rudy's famous, it'd be
Yeah.
worth trying again.
I
Yeah.
got the juice now, baby. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
let's do it. Let's get the 5%ers to help us.
Yeah. And Rudy, I'm not kidding. If you want, I actually hired he starts tomorrow, a TikTok video creator.
Really?
So if you want some
You should have hired me because I went viral.
Yep.
Even Pete's condescending to this guy.
So if you want someone to help make a 5% video.
Let's do it.
we
You're
got
in
you.
it.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
Thank you guys for having me. Appreciate it.
Of course, Rudy. Thanks for all the
Thanks, Rudy.
freaking
Congratulations
intros, man.
on 2 years.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks for all
Shouts
the
to Pete,
intros.
shouts to Taylor, shouts to everyone here.
We did it, man.
You guys
Rudy,
did it.
thanks for giving us the vibes on the beginning
My
of every
pleasure,
episode.
guys. It's been fun.
Good shit. Okay, guys. Happy Monday. Have a good week.